Welcome to CrimePod Castle Unsolved Mystery Series, Episode 30.
Oh, wow. Episode 30 already.
It is, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Today, we're going deep into the Himalayas,
Okay.
trying to unravel
All right.
a very intriguing case.
Sounds good.
This is the death of Pushkar Singh Dhami.
Dhami, yeah.
He was a rising star
Mm-hmm.
in Uttarakhand politics.
Right.
Back in 2012, his life was tragically cut short.
Very young.
Officially,
Yeah.
it was ruled an accident,
Okay.
but many believe there's more to the story.
Yeah, there's a lot of suspicion around this case,
There is.
especially because it happened at a pivotal moment in his career, you know.
gladly.
He was really on the cusp of
Yeah.
some, big things.
Absolutely.
Big political success.
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder, was there something else at play here?
Right.
Yeah.
So let's start off by
Uh-huh.
painting a picture
Right.
of Pushkar Singh Dhami
Yeah.
for the listeners.
Mm.
He wasn't just a politician.
Yeah.
He was a symbol of hope
Absolutely.
for many in Uttarakhand.
That's right. He
Yeah.
was a real
What was it?
local boy,
Yeah.
deep connection with the community, born and raised there,
Yeah.
dedicated his life to public service,
Right.
known for his integrity,
Okay.
his commitment,
Mhm.
really put the people first.
Sounds like he was really making a difference.
He was. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a vocal advocate
Uh-huh.
for policies that would improve people's lives,
Hmm.
especially the rural population, marginalized communities,
Right.
was instrumental
Yeah.
in starting a lot of projects.
Okay.
Infrastructure, education, really key things
Wow.
that the region needed.
Yeah, it sounds like he was making
Yeah.
real progress,
He was.
which makes this
Yeah.
sudden death even more shocking.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. Can you take us back
Sure.
to the day it happened?
Absolutely.
What were the circumstances surrounding his death?
On that day, Dhami was found dead
Oh.
at his residence.
Mhm.
Initial reports
Yeah.
suggested he had fallen
Okay.
from a significant height.
Right.
The police quickly concluded it was an accidental death,
Okay.
but a lot of people questioned that conclusion,
Right away.
especially his family.
Yeah, what made them doubt
Yeah.
the official explanation?
There were a couple things,
Were there specific?
specific details that seemed off.
Okay.
So, for instance,
Yeah.
the scene of the alleged fall
Uh-huh.
wasn't thoroughly examined,
Okay.
and certain personal belongings of Dhami were missing.
Right, and they also argued...
They also argued that his personality just didn't line up with the idea
Okay.
that he would be careless enough
Yeah.
to accidentally fall from that height.
Yeah.
He was known to be cautious
Right.
and detail-oriented.
So right from the start,
Yeah,
there were red flags.
there were.
Yeah, it sounds like the
Yeah.
initial investigation
Yeah.
was
Want to be a little hasty.
a little hasty.
Yeah,
Did the police
right.
address any of...
The police maintain
Yeah.
their stance
Yeah.
that it was an accident,
Mm-hmm.
but the lack of transparency
Right.
just fueled the public's suspicion even more.
Mm.
The family kept asking
Okay.
for a more thorough investigation,
Right.
but they were ignored,
Wow.
which just added to the mystery.
This lack of closure
Yeah.
must have been incredibly,
It was frustrating.
very frustrating for the family
Yes.
and those who knew
Yeah. So
Dhami well.
Yeah.
it's understandable
Yeah.
why whispers of
Mm-hmm.
foul play started to circulate.
Yeah.
Were there
Yeah.
any specific theories
Absolutely.
that gained traction?
Yeah, given his rising influence and his very strong stance
Right.
on certain political issues,
Okay.
the theory of political rivalry
Mm-hmm.
came up pretty quickly.
Right, because some believed...
Yeah, that
They
his growing popularity
Yeah.
threatens certain individuals,
Okay.
powerful individuals,
Right.
who might have wanted to eliminate him
Yeah.
from the picture.
Now remember,
Right.
Dhami
Yeah.
wasn't afraid to
Well,
challenge the status quo.
Not at all.
He had openly criticized...
He had corrupt practices
Oh.
in the government
Mm-hmm.
and really advocated for greater transparency.
So he's
Anything.
ruffling some feathers.
Some feathers in
Oh,
the
really?
political arena.
Yeah.
That certainly adds another layer to
Oops,
this
so we have-
already a complex situation.
Yes.
But was there any evidence
Oh,
to support this theory
well, there wasn't concrete evidence.
that directly linked his death to any specific rivals?
Right.
Many pointed to the fact that he vocally opposed certain influential figures in the state.
Right.
He had even received threats in the past,
Oh, wow.
which unfortunately
Yeah.
weren't taken seriously.
It's chilling to think
It is.
that someone's life
Mm-hmm.
could be in danger simply for speaking truth to power.
Exactly.
Did the investigation explore this angle at all?
Well, despite the family's insistence, the police seemed reluctant to investigate any political motives.
So they just focused on...
They focused primarily on the accidental fall theory, dismissing anything else as just speculation.
It's almost as if they were trying to sweep the whole thing under the rug.
Yeah.
This lack of a proper...
It's very disheartening.
Investigation must have been incredibly disheartening.
It is.
For the family and the community.
Absolutely.
But the political rivalry theory wasn't the only one circulating.
I mean, was it?
Right.
That's right.
So we have a young, charismatic politician on the rise, making powerful enemies.
It seems so.
And potentially even attracting the ire of individuals outside the political sphere.
It sounds like a political thriller.
It's like something straight out of a political thriller.
It does.
But this is real life.
Yeah.
With real consequences.
Exactly.
And the fact that the initial investigation failed to thoroughly examine all these angles adds to the intrigue.
Absolutely.
And leaves us with more questions than answers.
Definitely. But it's important to remember, these are just theories.
Right.
There's no concrete evidence to say for sure whether it was political rivalry or a personal vendetta.
Right, but a thorough investigation.
The lack of a thorough investigation really leaves a lot of room for speculation.
That brings us to a crucial question. If it wasn't an accident and the police weren't interested in pursuing these other leads, what could have motivated them?
To cover up
the truth.
That's where things get really murky.
Yeah. Do you think powerful figures?
It's possible.
Might have been involved?
Yeah. Some people think.
And the police?
That influential figures were involved and the police were under pressure.
To protect them.
To protect those in power.
Rather than pursue justice.
Exactly.
It's a disturbing thought.
It is.
But unfortunately, not an uncommon one.
Unfortunately not.
Especially in cases. Involving high-profile individuals.
High-profile people.
Or those with political connections.
Or people with political connections.
Did the public just accept this official explanation?
Not at all.
No.
There was widespread outrage, protests. People demanded a transparent and independent inquiry.
But their calls were ignored.
Largely ignored.
This lack of accountability really erodes public trust.
It erodes public trust.
In the authorities.
It's
like
it's a classic case of power dynamics.
Dynamics at play. It's a reminder of the importance.
It's an independent judiciary.
A
free press.
And a free press.
Holding those in power accountable.
Absolutely. It highlights the vulnerability of individuals.
Of individuals who challenge the status quo.
Who dare to challenge the status quo.
In regions where corruption is rampant.
Dhami's story is a stark reminder that the fight for justice can be
an uphill battle.
Especially when powerful forces.
Are at play. But amidst all this tragedy, it's important to remember.
It is important.
The man himself.
Remember the man himself.
What kind of legacy did Pushkar Singh Dhami leave behind?
Dhami's legacy is one of courage, integrity, and a deep commitment to his people.
He was a
true grassroots leader. Came from humble beginnings and rose through the ranks purely on his dedication.
And hard work.
Even today. He's remembered as a symbol of hope. And a champion of the underprivileged.
His story is both inspiring. And heartbreaking.
He dared to dream.
He did.
Of a better future. For his community. And worked tirelessly. Towards that goal. Only to have his life cut short?
It's tragic.
Under such suspicious circumstances. What happened to his family? How did they cope with this devastating loss?
Never gave up.
And the lack of closure.
On their quest for truth and justice.
Really?
They continue to advocate for the case to be reopened, hoping one day the truth will be revealed.
Their resilience and determination
commendable.
Is truly commendable.
It is.
It speaks volumes. about their character.
About their character.
And their unwavering belief.
And their unwavering belief in the power of truth.
In the power of truth.
Yeah.
It's been over a decade.
It has.
Since Dhami's death.
Over a decade.
Has there been any progress?
Sadly,
in the case
remains cold.
Really?
Despite pleas for a reinvestigation, there hasn't been any movement.
From the authorities?
From the authorities, no.
The lack of closure. Yeah. Continues to haunt.
It continues to haunt.
Dhami's family.
Dhami's family.
And those who believe.
And those who believe.
His death was no accident.
That his death was no accident.
It's a tragic reminder.
It is.
That sometimes.
Even
in the face of.
Even with overwhelming evidence.
And public outcry. Justice can be elusive.
Yeah. The system. It seems failed.
Failed Pushkar Singh Dhami.
And his family. Yeah.
It also raises some uncomfortable questions.
About
the state of democracy.
At the state of democracy.
On the rule of law.
And the rule of law.
In a society.
Where
the powerful can seemingly operate with impunity. Yeah.
It's a reminder that we can't just stay silent.
Right.
We all have a role to play.
Demanding justice?
Absolutely.
Accountability.
We can't just let these things slide.
What I find so striking about Dhami's case is the number of unanswered questions.
It's unbelievable.
It's been over a decade.
I know.
And yet, the circumstances surrounding his death remain a mystery.
Completely shrouded in mystery.
What do you think, for our listener, is the most perplexing?
I think the most perplexing part is...
aspect of this story.
The lack of political will
to
find out what really happened. Despite the public outcry, the demands for an inquiry, the family's efforts.
Like, they don't want to touch it.
It makes you wonder what they're so afraid of.
It does. It's almost as if they're hoping it will just fade away.
Just fade into obscurity, and people will forget.
Forget about Pushkar Singh Dhami.
Exactly.
And the questions.
People who knew him.
Yeah.
People who believed in his vision.
Right.
They haven't forgotten.
No, his legacy lives on.
It does.
And not just in the hearts of his loved ones.
In the fight for justice.
But in the ongoing fight for justice.
And transparency.
Yeah. It's a beacon of hope.
It is.
That reminds us.
That even with all that power,
the
truth can come out.
Eventually. Dhami may be gone.
Right.
But he started something.
He did. He inspired people.
He inspired a new generation.
A new generation of activists.
Of activists and leaders.
Leaders who are not afraid.
Not afraid to speak out. So as we wrap up our deep dive into this unsolved case.
We're
left with a mix of emotions. Sadness, frustration. But also a sense of hope.
Yes.
What do you think is the most enduring message?
The most enduring message is don't give up.
Of Dhami's story.
On the pursuit of justice.
Powerful.
No matter how hard it seems.
Never give up.
Dhami's story shows us that we can't be silent.
Silence is not an option.
When things are unjust.
When faced with injustice.
We have to do something.
It's a call to action.
It is.
It's an invitation.
To make a better society.
To get involved.
For everyone.
And create a more just and equitable society.
That's it.
For everyone.
That's the mess.
Thank you for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
On this journey.
Fascinating case.
Into the heart of a mystery.
Absolutely.
We hope this deep dive has not only shed light on the complexities.
That's this case?
For sure. But has also sparked a conversation.
Right.
About the importance of transparency,
accountability, and pursuing justice.
And the pursuit of justice.
No matter what.
Even when it's hard.
Don't
forget to follow and subscribe to CrimePod Castle.
To the show.
Unsolved Mystery Series.
For more.
Deep dives
into intriguing stories.
Intriguing stories and mysteries.
Until next time.
See you then.
Stay curious. Stay engaged.
And
keep asking questions.
Keep asking questions.